Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I'm your host, BKP, the voice of rural America. That's what we're at. We're in the North Georgia mountains here, and you know, there was a time that you had to be in a major market. You know, we could not do what we're doing here unless we were in New York City, you know, and or we were in Hollywood, California, or one of the big major markets, Atlanta. But we can now do this show and more. We plan, I'm going to tell you right now, we plan for FYNTV to have several more programs. So just while I'm at it, before we start here, the Katie Sassine show is at 10 o'clock every day. That's 10 o'clock, Monday through Friday. That show after June 1st, the first Monday, that show will go from 30 minutes to an hour, maybe longer, but we do know her show is going to go from 30 minutes to an hour on June 1st. And we have some other shows that we'd like to do. So if you're interested in being a part of FYNTV.com or FetchYourNews.com in any way, whether it be we are looking for sports reporters for this fall on the football field, and we're looking for sports reporters. We're also looking for reporters in the counties we cover. FYNTV is looking for additional associate producers. We have Sam's going to be here, but we have some other program we're going to do, and she will not be able to do all of it, so we're growing so fast. We are looking for some associate producers. So just always check with us here, chief at FetchYourNews.com, see how you can get involved today. Now, we went over several things that's happening. Just one more time, Sam. And first, before we go over what's happening this week, because the governor is coming to town, and while we're talking about the governor, I'm going to bring this up, Governor Nathan Deal. First, why is he coming to Ellijay Thursday, Sam?
He is coming to sign the firefighter cancer insurance bill.
And that's 1 o'clock Thursday at Fire Station 1, right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, Fire Station 1. Governor Nathan Deal and Speaker of the House David Ralston, and I would suspect State Senator Steve Gooch will be there and many others. And that's the firefighter cancer bill. They're going to be signing at Fire Station 1 over here at Ellijay. Also this weekend we have Apple Blossom, Georgia Mountain Jazz and Wine Fest. Why don't you just do them all? I mean,
the Apple Blossom Festival is Saturday and Sunday. The gates open at 9 a.m. They close at 4 p.m. That is a free festival. They will have local crafts and arts and crafts. They will have a business expo, and they'll have kids games and things like that. You can also bring your pets to that as long as they are on a leash. Then Saturday night, they have the Blue Ridge Mountain Wine and Jazz Festival. That is on Saturday, May 6th. The gates open at 2 p.m. Music starts at 3 and it runs until 9 p.m.
Now, the Blue Ridge, if you have it pulled up there, the Blue Ridge Theater, Community Theater, they have a special Saturday night also, do they not? Do you have that up there?
Yes, Saturday night at 7:30. The group that will be playing at the Blue Ridge Community Theater is called Back in the Saddle. They were on with us on Monday, and they are a Western theme song group that will be playing on Saturday night.
So it's Mr. Robinson, their manager, told me that is something you would want to take the whole family to. It's really enjoyable. Roy Rogers, Gene Autry, Tex Ritter, all the old Western country music sounds, something the whole family will enjoy. Okay, now while we are talking about the governor coming here, we are going to get really involved with the governor's race in Georgia, and let me just go over right now a couple. We're scheduling now. We've been in contact with Brian Kemp, Secretary of State. He is the current Secretary of State. You got Mr. Kemp's picture there. We're going to go through as I name him. This is Brian Kemp. He is currently the Secretary of State of Georgia. And he is running for governor, and we have his campaign has reached out for an interview, and we're in communication with them now, so we're going to try to start next week. And as just let you know, anyone that fills out their paperwork with the state saying that they're intending to run for governor so they can raise money, okay? They got to pay their qualification fee. There's a date. But there's certain paperwork you have to fill out with the state that says you have intent to run for governor and you can raise money, is my understanding. So we will have every candidate, Democrat or Republican, will have an opportunity to interview here throughout the campaign for the next year. We'll have them on as many times as possible. Now, I will say this, where we're at here, I want to talk to Mr. Kemp because, Secretary Kemp, because under his platform, strengthening rural Georgia, okay? Give rural communities the same opportunities as Metro Atlanta, promote economic development and investment, support farmers, agribusiness, and small town startups. Mr. Secretary, I'm going to be all over that subject right there because that's what we look at here where we're at. What is the game plan for rural Georgia? My number one is the internet. I mean, I am so tired of fighting for decent internet so our kids could have adequate internet for school, our teachers, you at home, the list goes on, our businesses. So, all right, Brian Kemp, our next one is Casey Cagle. Now, Casey Cagle is currently the Lieutenant Governor of the state of Georgia. He is a Republican also, and Casey Cagle is Lieutenant Governor of the state of Georgia. Now, what I like to do is go to their websites and find their positions. I keep going to CaseyCagle.com, and all I'm offered to do is donate. Okay, and I don't know if it's just me because I pretty much know how to. They want my name and address for every question. Georgia stands for the Second Amendment. Give me your name and address. Lead the movement to protect life. Give me your name and address. Keep Georgia #1 state in business. So, creating tomorrow's workforce. So I understand there's several questions here, but I'm not finding how I could get to Mr. Cagle's issues on his website. I'll continue to try to do that. But we'll reach out to him and talk to him about an interview. Hunter Hill, okay? This is Mr. Hunter Hill. He is a Republican. He is currently state senator from the 6th District of Georgia, and he is a Republican. And his website, he has a good website, I've gone to it. That's the first thing I do is go and see what kind of issues the candidates want to put out. And true conservative leadership for Georgia, Hunter Hill for governor. Hunter Hill promises bold solutions and measurable results, okay? So we'll get further into that, and we do have a contact from Mr. Hill, and we understand we're working on an interview with him. And I don't know of any other Democrat. Again, that's Hunter Hill as a candidate for governor of Georgia. And I don't know of any others, but we do know Stacey Abrams. Georgia House District, this is Miss Stacey Abrams. She is the representative in the Georgia State House, District 89. She's a Democrat. Miss Abrams is a Democrat. And she has her website, Stacey Abrams for Governor. And she has the website there, and obviously they're working on it because they don't have all of her issues platforms together there, but she does have a website so you can start signing up and speaking out. So now the first thing they do, all the politicians do, is get their websites together so you can send money. So that's Stacey Abrams. So there are the candidates that I see at this time for Georgia governor's race: Brian Kemp, Casey Cagle, Hunter Hill, and Stacey Abrams, and they are all invited to interview with FetchYourNews.com, the rural voice. We're going to talk to them about rural Georgia right here. So that's now. I may have ran out of stuff. It's only 9:17. Is that possible? I mean, I'm just wondering, is it possible that I ran out of stuff at 9/17? I'm just saying. Don't know. Folks, yesterday I brought this up. I'm going to do a quick rundown. Yesterday I brought this up, and I want you to watch for a couple things, all right? This one you're tired of. Don't want to hear it any longer, but there's a reason this concerns me, and there's a reason that I think we should pay attention to this. I had it here just a second ago. I think this is a May 2nd story also I talked about yesterday. And last July, please folks, when I say this, don't get upset. I have other stuff we're going to do today. Last July, Puerto Rico defaulted on hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. However, under the PROMESA, Federal Rescue Law, put together in the last minute, creditors' litigation was put on hold. A kind of deferred debtor protection without actual bankruptcy. The law was meant to encourage Puerto Rico and its Federal Financial Oversight Board to negotiate debt. Remember I told you yesterday, the reason I'm recapping this is at the last minute, the government did not allow Puerto Rico to file bankruptcy, but they put in a 7-member Federal Financial Oversight Board to negotiate debt. Folks, it didn't work then. And these are the same people that's handing you the spending bill. And these are the same people that you want to create a plan to help to stop or end or pay down the $20 trillion in debt. These are the people. The law was meant cutting agreements with creditors. No deals were reached, and on midnight, May 1st, into Tuesday, the litigation freeze expired. There was a freeze on litigation against Puerto Rico. It expired, opening the doors for creditors to take Puerto Rico to court in hopes of blocking the next step in Puerto Rico's restructuring, okay? You will bail out Puerto Rico, folks. You will bail them out, okay? Bottom line, all right? You'll bail out Puerto Rico, and what is next? Because you've got pensions that are unfunded across this country. You've got the state of Illinois. We talked about it. The state of Illinois, their constitution does not allow them to negotiate or defer or do anything to pension payments. They have to be made whole, meaning paid in full at that time, and it's in their constitution in Illinois. They can't pay them. Student debt, car loan debt, Illinois, pension plans, can't pay them, folks. Puerto Rico will set the stage. How will Donald Trump deal with all the bailouts that are coming to his desk? If you think $1.1 trillion spending bill that has already $280 million in Medicaid bailout for Puerto Rico, you think? Wait till you see what else is coming to his desk. You better shut it down now if you want to stand any chance of getting anything turned around or draining any swamp. I'm your host, BKP. We'll take a brief break and we'll come right back. Oh, by the way, Hillary figured out why she lost. We'll talk about that when we return. Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices.